So again, the heroes are trying to find Watcher's Woods. They don't know that the storyteller does. Each of the adventure options has a area that you have to find that will go ahead and trigger the rest of the overall game here. In this case, that is Watcher's Woods. So the nerd is going to try to move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Can't do anything. 1, 2, 3, 4. And so the nerd is going to move his turn again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So what does he find? There we go. Watcher's Woods. And so he goes ahead and finds this. And again, there are many wood and foresty environments in Are You Afraid of the Dark. I chose one with an actual name. So Watcher's Woods is actually it. So how this works is that the nerd will still go ahead and draw a card like normal. And in this case, summon a monster. So which one of the monsters are we getting? The Creature of Darkness. Ooh, that guy's rough. He moves slow, but he's rough though. So I'll go ahead and find his guy here in just a second. But because the nerd has discovered Watcher's Woods, certain events happen. So the storyteller has a guide here, and within that guide, he reads out loud certain text as a story narrative to the rest of the group. And that first part of the story goes as follows.
You find yourselves deep in a vast forest. The tall, thick trees block any light from coming in. There must be a way out of this cursed town. Beyond these trees, you think to yourself, so you decide to look.
So after that, a small amount of text, again, the storyteller has a guide of what they're supposed to do. So if you were the storyteller, it says here the protagonist who initiated this event, so the nerd, will need to make a knowledge check, which in this case, similar to anything else, it's the number that you roll on the dice plus your knowledge skill. The nerd has a knowledge of 6. He's a smart guy. In this case, a knowledge check of 7 or higher on a success, the story continues. On a failure, the fear meter will raise by 1. And this will occur to each failure, and other heroes can try to make the check too on their respected turn. So, in this case, it's impossible for the nerd not to get it because his bare minimum is going to be 7. But just to show you, he gets a 4 plus the 7, so he has an 11 on it here. And so because he got the right number, the story continues, and the storyteller will go ahead and read the next part out to the rest of the group.
After what seems like an eternity of searching, but is probably only a few minutes, a man in a light jacket and baseball hat approaches you. He shines a light in your face and then at his own face, revealing a big, goofy smile. "The name's Flynn. What brings you all the way out here?" he asks. You explain you're looking for a way out of Terrortown, and his face begins to show expressions of joy. "Oh, I can help you out," he says. "Do me a little favor, and you may leave this terrible town." You agree to hear his favor and listen to his request. "You see, the good Dr. Vink has something that belongs to me." He raises his arm to reveal his hand has been removed and only a bloody stump remains. "If you bring me back my hand, I will open the way out of this town." You're horrified at the bloody mess and the calmness of the man before you, but you agree to help out. Kind of a side note here, real fast. Yes, as I said, there are artistic liberties here. I realized that in the show itself, when he showed his actual hand, it looked more like he just put his hand in like the coat sleeve. But in this, we went a little overboard. So yeah.
So in this case here, the overall goal of what the players for this instance has been discovered here. They need to return Flynn's hand. This is based off of the Phantom Cab. Obviously, that was not the plot of the episode. again, and I know I keep saying this, but many artistic liberties. Things have been changed around for the sake of making a board game and adding a little bit of extra fun to it. So, in this case here, the heroes know they're trying to find this Dr. Vink. And so they're going to keep on trying to look here and see if they can find anything of the sort. Um, in this in this case here, like let's just say that they don't understand what they are supposed to do. They could also make a knowledge check, and based off of the number, which in this case it's a knowledge of 4, they could also say, "Oh, okay, I know I have to go find Dr. Vink." Um, it is the jock's turn next, and so he's going to go ahead and what does he find? He finds a school. Again, many schools in Are You Afraid of the Dark, so we're just doing one of them. What does he get? Summon a monster. Ooh, so things are getting rough here. What does he get? The Ghastly Grinner. So, Ghastly Grinner here is on the board, and we'll go ahead and put him on here. Alrighty, so the storyteller has 2 monsters on the field. And again, the stats are based off of what I thought were actually kind of scary and which ones weren't scary. And I always thought that the Ghastly Grinner was more of the one of the like, ooh, this episode is pretty intense. So he's actually a pretty strong monster to fight against. And so they're going to go ahead and move here. Because the Creature Darkness can only move up to 2, he's going to 1, 2. But the Ghastly Grinner here, he's going to be moving 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So in this case, he is able to move a bunch. And so we are back up to the hero's turn. They, again, are trying to find Dr. Vink's cabin. So what do they do in this case? The nerd can try to run down here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but the Grinner is going to overtake him. He could try to run this way, which I think he will. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The jock here is going to try to, I think he's going to try to stand up, and he's going to try to go to this area here. So he's going to 1, 2, 3, 4. Unfortunately, he can't quite reach what he's trying to get to. There's not a whole lot he is able to do at this point. So it is going to be the storyteller's turn, and they're going to 1, 2. Again, a monster cannot discover a location, and so in this that area will not be able to be found until that creature is taken off of that area here. And so let's see how much the Creature of Darkness is going to do to the jock.